Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Arnold Schwarzenegger slams President's pardon of Chrisleys. Superstar and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger is slamming President Trump's pardon of Todd and Julie Chrisley. He was recently asked about his feelings regarding this, and he did not hold back. So what did the Terminator have to say? Keep reading for more details. Action fans know Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator and from films like Total Recall and True Lies. Yet he was also the governor of California from 2003 to 2011. In his life, he has had his own scandal. He had an affair with a member of their home staff, Mildred Patricia Patty Baina. This resulted in a son, Joseph Baina, who strikes an eerie resemblance to his dad. Joseph went on to shake it on DWTS and quickly became a fan favorite. As for Arnold, he is back in the public eye and making his way around the public circuit. He recently appeared on WVHL, where he talked about the Chrisleys. They were pardoned by President Donald Trump in May 2025 and released within 24 hours. Since that happened, many followers are happy that this happened. Fans felt their punishment was far too harsh, and it was the best thing. Others think that they should have had to serve their sentence, given that they were convicted. However, Arnold is not thrilled with the pardon and made that known. Andy Cohen played a game with Arnold called Maybe or Hasta la Vista, Baby. It was all pop culture related, and if Arnold liked it, he said, maybe. Yet, if it was a no-go, he said the latter. When it came to Todd and Julie Chrisley, he responded to them being pardoned with Hasta la Vista, Baby. It did not go much further than that, but it was clear he did not care for what went down. Todd and Julie left their respective facilities and have gone on to continue filming a reality series with their family. Furthermore, Todd has constantly been in the spotlight, showing up for press conferences and such. Regardless of whether the pardon was a good or bad idea, Todd and Julie Chrisley are free. She is lying very low this time, and when she stepped out, there were questions about her mental health. Fans have said she looks dead in the eyes and has gone through obvious trauma. Todd, on the other hand, is living his best life and is not looking back. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who lived publicly for decades, seems to think the Chrisleys should still be locked up. President Donald Trump likely does not care what he has to say or how he feels, and that is fine. Do you agree with Arnold about Todd and Julie Chrisley being pardoned, or was it a good thing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. In a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and Washington alike, action movie legend and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has come out swinging. This time not with a shotgun or a time-traveling motorcycle, but with sharp, uncompromising words. At the center of his outrage is the recent presidential pardon granted to Todd and Julie Chrisley, stars of the once popular reality TV show Chrisley Knows Best, who were convicted of tax evasion and bank fraud. This is not leadership. This is cowardice wrapped in celebrity worship, Schwarzenegger declared at a press conference held outside a solar energy facility in Nevada, where he had been promoting clean energy initiatives. You don't just wipe away crimes because someone's been on television. That's not justice. That's Hollywood favoritism at its worst. The Chrisleys, who began serving their sentences in early 2023, after being convicted of orchestrating a years-long financial fraud scheme, had become the subject of public sympathy campaigns, including support from reality TV fans and influencers. But the pardon, signed in a high-profile gesture by President Jackson Holloway, known for his unorthodox approach to governance and frequent nods to pop culture, has reignited a fierce debate about privilege, celebrity, and the integrity of the justice system. Schwarzenegger, never one to mince words, didn't hold back. The American people work hard, pay their taxes, and expect that the rule of law applies to everyone, no matter how many Instagram followers they have. He said, his Austrian accent lending an even greater sense of weight to his words. What message does this send to working families? That if you're famous enough, you can steal millions and walk free. The actor-turned-governor, who has cultivated a legacy rooted in responsibility, environmental reform, and bipartisan governance, made it clear this wasn't a partisan issue for him. This isn't about Democrats or Republicans, he emphasized. This is about right and wrong. You can't build trust in government while simultaneously torching the credibility of the justice system. The pardon comes at a politically sensitive time. President Holloway, a former tech CEO who catapulted to office on promises of disruption and transparency, has already stirred controversy with his use of executive clemency. Critics have noted a pattern: high-profile pardons often coinciding with media cycles and public sentiment polls. The Chrisleys' pardon followed a particularly emotional televised interview with their children, which trended for 72 hours on social media and galvanized an outpouring of celebrity support. But Schwarzenegger isn't buying the narrative of reformed family values and media redemption. Regret doesn't erase the crime. Tears don't unforge bank statements, he said bluntly. If we keep bending justice to accommodate fame, we're going to end up with a system where morality is dictated by marketability. That's not America. That's a circus. Sources close to Schwarzenegger say he had been privately fuming since the pardon was announced, but chose to speak publicly after being approached by a group of civic leaders and small business owners frustrated by the double standard. In his speech, he drew parallels to working-class Americans who face steep penalties for much smaller infractions. Imagine a single mom who fudged her tax return by $200 out of desperation. She gets penalized, fined, and her life is turned upside down. Meanwhile, these TV millionaires cheat the system out of millions, and they're welcomed back like heroes. It's grotesque. Schwarzenegger's bold stance has drawn both praise and backlash. Fellow actors Mark Ruffalo and Jameela Jamil applauded his words on social media, calling them a rare voice of integrity in a sea of compromise. Meanwhile, pundits loyal to Holloway have accused the former governor of grandstanding and trying to stay relevant. But the 77-year-old seems unfazed. Relevance doesn't matter, he shot back in a follow-up interview with NPR. I didn't speak up to be popular. I spoke up because someone had to say the truth. This isn't entertainment, it's the erosion of accountability. Legal experts are also weighing in on the constitutional but controversial nature of presidential pardons. Professor Linda Garvey, a legal analyst from Georgetown University, told The Hill that while the pardon was within the president's rights, its timing and optics undermine the perception of justice as impartial and fair. Schwarzenegger has called for broader reforms to executive clemency, suggesting that a bipartisan committee be involved in high-profile cases to prevent abuses of power. No one should have the sole authority to erase crimes behind closed doors, especially not when public trust is already hanging by a thread, he argued.